website. You find really Organicus, really like interesting website about numerology, and it is like just fun to watch how much passion people will put in this topic. And this is a cube. A cross is actually a cube. Like it's like if you cut a cross on a cardboard, you will bend here with just a little pushing. You will obtain a cube. That's why I was thinking yesterday that we generally associate just by instinct the head here and the arms here and the feet here, but basically it's not, because if you cut this on the cardboard and then you close it, if you put the feet here, you will find that the feet are actually in the 3D version on top, and basically the bottom is where there is the flower. I think this will let you think about it. For example, the inverted cross is more accurate, because if you put the feet, let's say here, at least you will find it not on the sky, and you will find the head on the sky. The head is here, and there is no question about it. It is the only point which can be put on top, unless you rotate the whole cube. This is the head, not the feet, you know? And this is, I think, when we say esoteric or occult, it's not because it is really something secret. It is something that to notice it, you have to be used to do 2 steps before thinking about something. It is just believing in that pose of thoughts in which you think about something. And so it's like other people will feel and see what it is just visible, and there are other kind of people which for some reason they were used to stay alone maybe, and they have to masturbate their own mind for forever and ever, and they see all the implication, like they observe more accurately. And those are the ones who don't believe actually what they see, because their mind, it is 2 steps forward. And they are even the people who are good with words because they can trick. But actually that trick are interesting. And you can find yourself, if you have this ability of analyzing things, that you get lost. And when you get lost, you generally get confused and you lose passion. That's why it is better to anchorate everything we say to a shape, not go too much further in abstraction. You can go even to the maximum abstraction, that's why Kabbalists, they used to speak in numbers. It is because they used to let the shape and symbol and number follow each step of the thought. In a way, like at the end of the process, they are always with some shape. It's like mind and body. Body, it is the image. That's why it's very important image. So I was talking about this square. This square, it is the element, and it is fixed sign of astrology. Fixed sign, you can search, you write fixed, you write cardinal, you write mutable, and you will find these 3 signs here. Actually, these 3 signs, no, this is cardinal. This is the glyph to say cardinal, fixed, mutable. If you cut this shape on the wood, you will find that you have an arrow that is spongy. How you say when it's spike? It is a spike. It is dangerous to go here. You will be killed. And there are signs of the zodiac which are associated to this. Which signs are the signs in which there are big events on the sky. This big event, it is moment in which the sun it is high, moment in which the sun is low, and the moment in which the sun it is just in the middle. And there is many mind masturbation we can do about it. Talking about astrolabio, which is this instrument. Oh no, Baldini. Astrolabio, which is a publishing thing in Italy, but Astrolabio, it is this instrument. But there is another as well that represent, if you know this image, you will actually understand all the mind masturbation that ancient Plato, Aristotle, those people used to do, because they don't have instrument to really watch the sky from a close point of view. But they calculate and they find they create some hypotheses, and imagination was still important. Nowadays, with imagination, you can just wash your ass, unless you are on the right field in which imagination is still be good to be used. But imagination is not fantasy. Imagination is getting interested in something that is there, it is natural, and with your imagination create some hypothesis. Nowadays we have this call that like 100 years ago was invented, this thing from Jerry pataphysica. It's like pataphysica, like the science of fantasy, and it was the before surrealism and Dada and all this. It is the science of imaginary solution, which we give this image like of artistic avant-garde stuff, but it's actually all the mind processes is pataphysica. It is just science. The other is calculation, but you have to do it by yourself. Therefore these people, using just their imagination and talking too much about it, of course the theory that was more accurate survived more, and they understood so many things without having the instrument. And they have all this thing about the song of the sphere, because they found correlation in music and so on. But again, let's stay on the sign. We were talking about this is a spike. You'll get hurt, a heart, pain if you touch it, and this is associated with the moment. Like this is Aries. It is a sign of fire, which is already a contradiction, because Aries in Italian is Ariete, and air, the sign air, is Aria. You know, if you follow just the sound, you will not get it, because you'll think that this is a sign of fire, that's why it is represented in red. But is the most important sign, it is the cardinal fire, the strongest of the strongest of the strongest one. And it is when there is Easter. Easter, it is on April. Now it is on April, but I think before it wasn't. I don't know when they do it. But because I don't know astrology, the real astrology, I don't know right now. But what I know is that Easter in April in Italian is Aprile, but if you just change a letter, it is Aprire, which means open, and it is the moment in which the everything is starting. This is the spring. So this is the number 1, and you go ta on the last one. So you have cardinal sign, which they have to be 1 for each element. Aries, Cancer, it is water. Libra, it is air. And Capricorn, it is earth. Here are represented in water green, which is correct. Or green or black, I think. And air, it is blue, and sky, and earth, sorry, I'm getting wrong. This is water and it's green, and it is not blue. I think it's correct. this is blue, I don't know, I was reading about yesterday, because you can think about it, there are many contradictions, but you will always find a point in which you can anchor yourself to have the solution. For example, Aries, Easter, coming from the east, sun coming from the east, and April, aprile, open, aprire. Language, Jewish, they don't have vowels, and they consider letters just like dice. You put it and you sum it and you can create, it's like quantum language. With letters you can move the letter all around and create new words, like James Joyce did in a crazy way, and even on the dangerous way. I don't know, was considered an initiate. In a way it was, maybe. I want to talk, cutting this conversation, about the difference between opposite and contrary. You know, we consider that black and white is our opposite, are contrary, and contrary and opposite means the same, which is not. Because once you understand the difference between opposite and contrary, I'm sorry guys to jump from a topic to another, because I consider this, I think in TP there are like these tests, you can find yourself, I have this personality, I think, because I did it very fast, but I relate to many things, like jumping from a subject to another, like I'm very good at brainstorming just because I find pattern in things. Therefore, when it seems that I'm jumping from a topic to another, this is just because I'm putting on the table some idea that just if you follow me, you will get this tool that will help you to understand the idea from which we started and from which we just move a little bit far from it. Therefore, we were talking about this. This thing will, if you understand this, you will move from the idea of number 2, like that everything is up and down, from the more complex idea of 4, which is the basic of element. It is you think, for example, in Tao, it is the Oriental way of element. The element are 5. And even on the opposite, they give you this, which many people just consider black and white. It is not, it is 4. And this is the moon. The number 7, it is the number of the moon. We organize our life in week. Week comes from night, from moon. Because moon will have these 4 things, and are these. 4 glyphs. If you understand this, you understand everything. Actually, these they have so much. We see if there is a simplified version of it with just the 4 main stage of the moon changing moon. Yes, but the 4 main point, it is white, black, half black, half black, half black, half white. This is the opposite of this, but opposite is just the same thing upside down. These are not enemy, they love each other and they hate each other. What is really a different nature, it is this compared to this. This is a splitted way. Like if you are splitted man, you will not get in touch with the full man. But if you're splitted man, you will find your opposite in other splitted men that are upside down. So we have 2 kinds of enemy. We have to understand this, because we can put this idea in the characterology, like in the study of human psyche, or just dividing people, or relation, or money